class. Okay, welcome to the meeting after the midterm task. This is business English or economic English, and we are going to discuss about products. Okay, so to start, please describe some of your favorite products. Why do you like them? What do they say about you, and which of these products could you not do without? So Okay, do you agree or disagree with these statements? Give reasons for your answers. It is better to pay a bit more for products which are made in your own country. Apakah kamu lebih ingin beli produk yang dibuat di negaramu? Okay, just think about it. Okay, I cannot get your answer because it's not two-way interaction. Okay, number two, organic, energy saving, and green products are overpriced. Green product biasanya overpriced, terlalu mahal, and often not as good as the alternatives. Tidak sebaik yang alternatifnya. Kalau kamu beli apa organic, anything like that, itu memang lebih mahal ya. Lalu yang ketiga, companies spend far too much on launching and promoting new products. Do you agree with that? And then multinational which manufacture in developing countries help the world economy. Do you agree? And modern technology-based products do not improve people's life. Well, I guess we disagree with number 5, yeah? Modern technology-based products usually improves people's life. Okay, but yeah, have a positive negative effect. So these 5 points all depend on you whether you agree or disagree. For me, number one, I agree. Okay, with that we help our country to be more developed. Now, number two, organic. I disagree because actually organic. Yeah, okay. In some parts they are overpriced, mahal, tapi kualitasnya baik gitu. And number three, companies spend far too much on launching and promoting new products. Well, for now, I agree with this for now because you have social media and anything like that, and they offer expose. But that's the way they are to sell their products, and then multinational which manufacture and develop help world economy. Well, I agree with that. Okay. Next, nah ini kita hanya membahas tentang produk, bagaimana peran produk di hidup kita atau di bisnis, even di global ya. Okay, next, describing products. Okay, ini semua adalah adjective. Itu ada attractive, ada comfortable. Attractive artinya menarik, comfortable artinya nyaman, economical artinya ekonomis, efficient artinya efficient, expensive itu mahal, fashionable itu fashionable, healthy itu sehat, popular itu populer, practical itu praktis, pure itu alami atau murni, reliable itu bisa diandalkan, safe itu aman. So, ini semua adalah adjective, yang mana adjective itu bisa ditambah imbuhan di depan namanya prefix. Ini ada an, ada in, ada im. Oke. Kalau yang ditambah an itu ada unattractive, uncomfortable. Kalau ditambah an tuh artinya jadi kebalikannya. Ya. Uncomfortable. Oke. Unfashionable ya. Unhealthy. Oke, unpopular. Oke. Unreliable and unsafe. Kalau in itu kita pakai di inefficient, inexpensive ya. Lalu kalau im itu kita pakai misalnya depannya impure ya. Apalagi di sini ya cuma pure aja ya. Ya. Nah, seperti itu. Nah, ini biasanya yang ditambah an, in dan im itu di depannya itu artinya jadi kebalikannya. Oke, di sini ada describing products. Oke, ini kalian nanti kalian kerjakan ya sendiri saja. Oke, nanti di forum buat soal yang berbeda dan kalian tolong jawab. Oke. Oke, ini reading dibaca saja. Oke, so ini ada true and false or not mentioned. Nah, ini kamu bisa baca ya. Oke. Oke, so ini adalah passive voice ya. Ini kalau kita coba bahas ini, reading A Path to Salvation Through Innovation. Kazuo Kashio has led Casio, the Japanese consumer electronics company that he founded with his three brothers for 20 years. Whatever problem is put to him, whether it is the yen's strength, the economy's weakness, or the collapse in Japanese mobile phone sales, the energetic executive has a single answer: launch the new products. For us as a manufacturer, whether conditions are good or bad is all decided by our products, and our strategy to make sure as many of them as possible are new. He says Casio plans to replace 50% of its products in the second half of the year. That strategy amounts to an attempt to maintain sales by taking a larger share of shrinking market. So challenge as to whether that is possible given that rivals are not only racing to launch new products but also cutting prices. Mr. Casio argues that Casio's products are unique enough to do it. This confidence in his product is typical of Mr. Casio. He often says that his long years of selling make him a keen judge of whether a new product will succeed. He perks up considerably when given the chance to praise his gadgets, such as radio-controlled watches that pick up a broadcast signal to set the time, and the Talon G-Shock brand, which redefined watch design. A source of pride at the moment is Casio's family of high-speed burst digital cameras, which can take up to 60 shots a second after the photographer presses the button. With such a camera, Mr. Casio says a photographer can catch the precise moment at which a batter hits a baseball and judge instantly whether a runner was safe or out. The product has taken Casio into the professional photography market, which is dominated by Canon and Nikon. Two of Mr. Casio's favorite phrases sum up the family's approach to research and development. One is to resist preconceived idea of what a device should do and how it should do it. The other is from 0 to 1 to describe how Casio creates something that didn't exist, such as the electronic calculator that started it all in 1957 from scratch. Mr. Casio argues that Japan's electronics industry can stay ahead of its rivals in Taiwan, China, and South Korea if it keeps innovating. His hopes for the future are those of a family company to maintain Casio's stability and to keep the new products coming. So, what do you think, this is true or false? Okay, read the article again, then decide whether according to the text. So actually Miss tadi bacakan, semoga kamu bisa mengingat lafal Miss, lalu dibaca lagi di sini ya nanti, lalu jawab ini number 1 until number 8 itu nanti di forum diskusi ya. Oke, jawab yang ini berdasarkan artikel tadi. Oke. Oke, ini passive. Passive itu we make passive verbs form with the verb be or and plus past participle. Pasti ini grammar ya. The Casio G-Shock GW5000 is made in Japan. So is made di sini adalah pasif. Kenapa pasif? Dia pakai to be lalu pakai verb 3. Nah, passive itu sama seperti kalau di bahasa Indonesia ibu menyapu lantai adalah kalimat aktif, sedangkan kalimat pasifnya adalah lantainya dipindah ke depan. Lantai pakai di ya. Kalau misalnya bahasa Inggris dia pakai to be, bahasa Indonesia pakai di, lalu kata kerja disapu ibu. Baru subjeknya yang ditaruh di belakang. Nah, kalau bahasa Inggris sama. Biasanya yang jadi tadinya jadi objek dipindah jadi subjek. Lalu ditambah to be dan verb 3. Gitu. Seperti the Casio G-Shock GW500 is made in Japan. We often choose a passive structure when we are not interested in, or it is not necessary to know who performs the action. Kalau kita menggunakan pasif itu kalau kita pikir yang melakukan actionnya itu atau yang subjek dari kata kerja itu sebenarnya tidak perlu diketahui, tidak penting diketahui. Seperti gini, this lens is often used in skateboarding photoshoots. So actually kalau kita ubah jadi aktif nih, people often use this lens gitu kan. Tapi kan karena people, so kebanyakan people, jadi rasanya kita nggak perlu menyebutkan subjeknya karena pada umumnya orang menggunakan ini gitu ya. Jadi objeknya dipindah ke depan, this lens. Jadi people-nya tidak disebut. This lens is often used gitu aja in skateboarding photoshoots gitu ya. Nah, if we want mention to perform an action, we can use by. The professional photography market is dominated by. Nah, kalau kita mau nyebutin siapa yang melakukan actionnya, kamu bisa tetap taruh di belakang, tapi pakai by sebelumnya. Seperti the professional photography market is dominated by Canon and Nikon. Nah, kalau diubah ke aktif kan gini, Canon and Nikon dominate the professional photography. We can use the passive to describe a process, system, or procedure. Kita bisa menggunakan pasif untuk menjelaskan proses, sistem, dan prosedur, gitu ya. Nah, biasanya makanya kalau kamu lihat cara-cara menggunakan sesuatu gitu di buku petunjuk itu kan pakainya pasif. Even in bahasa Indonesia juga kadang menggunakan pasif, jadi tidak menyebutkan subjeknya, tidak bilang kamu buka tutupnya, kamu buka ininya, kamu pasang lagi tutupnya, kan nggak pakai kata kamu, tapi langsung dibuka tutupnya lalu diapakan. Nah itu kan di bahasa Indonesia juga bahasa Inggris, jadi tidak disebut subjeknya. Jadi langsung ke objek lalu to be dan verb 3 gitu ya. Finally, all Casio products are tested before shipping. Nah ini ya seperti ini contohnya ya. Nah ini nanti juga dikerjakan deh gitu ya. Jadi ini nanti mengerjakan ini sama tadi yang reading. Oke, nah ini useful language. Nah ini kalau kamu mau introducing the product, this is our new product. I'm going to tell you about our new product. Nah, describing the product. Nah, let me tell you about its special features. It is made of leather, blah blah blah. Stating the product uses. It's ideal for blah blah blah. Listing selling points. What about its main selling points? Ya, baca sendiri ini ya. Referring to benefits, it save people time, money, it's easy to use ya. Lalu inviting questions. Does anyone have any questions? Would anyone like to ask question gitu ya? So any questions? Nah ini useful language if you want to present your product ya gitu. Yeah, I guess that's it. Thank you. I hope you understand, and Di forum diskusi kamu akan mengerjakan uh, reading dan tadi apa ini ya, passive sentence. Okay, thank you. Selamat puasa ya. This is our first week of the Ramadan. Thank you.